Let's start with our first guest, Ellen Mosu, please. Right there with us.
Thank you. Here we go. Yes, thank you. I'm Ellen Mosu. We're with the theater, and I'm a producing partner there. I'm an actress and a director. And I'm going to read, last summer for the Festival of Independent Theater, we did a show called Vita and Virginia, which is a compilation of the love letters of Vita Sackville-West and Virginia Woolf. And it's a two-person show, but there's only one of me here tonight, and I played Virginia last summer, so I'm just going to read some of Virginia's early letters that she wrote after she had met the love of her life, Vita Sackville-West, and describing Vita and her first encounters with Vita, and then another little section which comes toward the end of the play, sort of describing what it's like to write a novel in general, and then to having written Orlando, her love letter to Vita, what that was like. So these are Virginia Woolf's letters to various people, and some to Vita Sackville-West as well. I'm too muzzy-headed to make out anything. This is partly the result of dining to meet Mr. and Mrs. Harold Nicholson last night. She, the lovely, gifted, aristocratic Vita Sackville-West, florid, mustached, parakeet-colored, with all the supple ease of the aristocracy, but not the wit of the artist. She has her hand on all the ropes, makes me feel virgin shy and schoolgirlish. Yet after dinner I rapped out opinions. She is a grenadier, hard, handsome, manly, inclined to a double chin. She is a pronounced sappist, and may, thinks Ethel Sands, have an eye on me. Later, upon her first visit to Vita's beautiful country estate in England, after the visit she wrote, "These saphists love women. Their friendship is never untinged with amorosity. I like her and being with her and the splendor. She shines in the grocer's shop in Sevenoaks with a candlelit radiance, standing on legs like beech trees, pink, glowing, grape-clustered, pearl-hung. She found me incredibly dowdy. She said she knew no one who cared less for personal appearance. No one put on things quite the way I did. Yet I was so beautiful, etc. What is the effect of all this on me? Well, it is very mixed. There is her maturity, her voluptuousness, her being so much in full sail on high tides, where I am coasting down backwaters. Her capacity, I mean to control silver, servants, chow dogs, her motherhood, her being, in short, what I have never been, a real woman. And she lavished on me maternal protection, which for some reason is what I've always wanted from everyone. I was always sexually cowardly. My terror of real life has always kept me in a nunnery. Clive, and now Vita, call me a fish. And I reply while holding hands and getting exquisite pleasure from contact with either male or female body. After leaving the holiday with Vita, she wrote to her, "Vita, I have left behind a raincoat, a pair of scarlet gloves, a brooch, and a hot water bottle. So contemplate complete nudity by the end of the year. I am very, very charming. And Vita is a dear old rough-coated sheepdog. I am dashing off to buy another pair of gloves. Ah, but I like being with Vita." Years later, deep into their affair, and Vita was a randy little thing. She was just with everyone. Virginia was very attached to her and very in love with her and very disappointed that Vida was in fact not faithful to her. Virginia wrote the novel Orlando. And here she talks about writing and then writing Orlando, which was all about Vida Sackville-West. I believe that the main thing in beginning a novel is not to feel, not that you can write it, but that it exists on the far side of a gulf which words can't cross, that it's to be pulled through only in a breathless anguish. A novel, as I say, to be good, should seem, before one writes it, something unwritable, only visible, so that for 9 months one lives in despair. I can assure you all my novels were first-rate before they were written. Yesterday morning I was in despair. I couldn't screw a word from me, and at last dropped my head in my hands, dipped my pen in the ink, and wrote these words as if automatically on a clean sheet: Orlando, a biography. No sooner had I done this than my body was flooded with rapture and my brain with ideas. I wrote rapidly till 12, but listen. Suppose Orlando turns out to be Vita, and it's all about you and the lusts of your flesh and the lure of your mind. Heart you have none, who go gallivanting down the lanes with Dottie Wellesley, or is it Mary Campbell now? Show you mind? Say yes or no. Yes. Orlando will be a little book, just with pictures and a map or two. I make it up in bed at night as I walk the streets, everywhere. In fact, I have never more wanted to see you than I do now. If you've given yourself to Mary Campbell, I'll have no more to do with you, and so it shall be written plainly for all the world to see in Orlando. I'm half or 10th part jealous when I see you with the Marys and Dotties and Valeries and Hildas, so you can discount that. I'm happy to think you do care. For often I seem old, fretful, querulous, difficult, though charming, and begin to doubt. Should you say, if I rang you up to ask, that you were fond of me? If I saw you, would you kiss me? If I were in bed, would you... I'm rather excited about Orlando tonight. I've been lying by the fire and making up the last chapter. Orlando is finished. Did you feel a sort of tug, as if your neck was being broken last Saturday night at 5 minutes to 1? That was when he died, or rather stopped talking, with 3 little dots. Now every word will have to be rewritten. It is all over the place, incoherent, intolerant, impossible, and I am sick of it. The question now is, will my feelings for you be changed? I've lived in you all these months. Coming out, what are you really like? Do you exist? Or have I made you up? There we go. The FIT is the Festival of Independent Theaters, and it takes place at the Bath House every summer. This is the 5th or 6th year? Fifth year. And it's a great opportunity for small theater companies to come together and produce an hour-long or a 45-minute piece. And the publicity is done sort of on behalf of the FIT, so there's a lot of stuff you don't have to mess with that you usually do when you're producing a play. You can just do the piece and show up. So great.
That's good. Are they one-act performances or
Everybody's
plays?
everybody's got sort of, you've got an hour, and that includes loading in your set, setting it up, and getting it off stage. So,
Fun.
so depending on how big your set is, yeah, 45-minute piece or 50-minute piece. Our show this year is only about 35 minutes, so yeah,
That's good.
it's fun.
Yeah. How long does it run for?
The FIT runs for 4 consecutive weekends.
Okay.
Began the second weekend in July and goes through August 2nd. And it runs Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, and then with lots of matinees, Saturdays, and Sundays. And it's kind of a big old smorgasbord because there are 13 different theater companies this year. And my company, Echo, is just one of them, and David, you'll meet in a little bit. Karami is another one.
Sure.
And if you come, say, on a Friday night, you'll see 2 plays. You might see mine and David's, or you might see any 2 other companies' plays. It's sort of a catch-as-catch-can. We sort of are in rotating rep, and it's all sort of random, but it's always a good show.
How long have you been on stage?
I've been on stage about 13 years. Yeah, as an adult, as a kid, of course.
Yeah. What do you like about it?
What I like about it, I think, is the collaboration. That's very different in stage work than it is in film work, and that is, and David Lozano can certainly speak to the collaboration because his company really develops shows collaboratively. But just, I love rehearsal. I love the process of rehearsal. I love taking a text, like these letters of Vita in Virginia are so beautifully written. I mean, these women are fabulous writers. But looking at the text and breaking it down and then getting into rehearsal and getting it in there and getting all sort of messy with the other actors and the director and tearing it apart and putting it back together. I love that.
Getting into the part.
Yeah.
What do you usually end up liking to communicate, liking to say? Because everything has a purpose.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you like to say anything anybody will listen to.
Okay, I'll rephrase it a little differently. What, in the big sense of the word, what would you like to communicate more times than not?
Well, human connections.
Okay.
I mean, to me...
Relationship?
Sure. I mean, our mission at Echo is that we produce plays that are written by women. We feel that, not necessarily featuring women or about women, but written by women, because we feel that women's voices in legit theater are underrepresented. 17% of the plays nationally are written by women. So, and it's not that women write about different things, but we tend to write about things differently than men. We see things through a different filter. And so that's obviously a voice that's very important to me, because it often represents my voice. But the thing that you want on stage, and I think you want if you're an audience member, is that connection with another actor, with another human. That's what I think that's what the audience can, hang on to when they're watching performances.
Once again, a relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the part of it that's universal. I mean, we can watch Romeo and Juliet, and I've never been to Verona, but I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that relationship, that humanity.
Who's your favorite female playwright?
Oh, that's really hard. It's sort of usually whoever I'm doing at the time.
Okay.
I really don't have one. I'm nuts about some of the old playwrights, Rachel Carruthers and Zona Gale, who wrote pioneering women playwrights. But I like anybody that makes me laugh. And I'm currently kind of in love with Joan Ackerman, because she's written a play we'll be doing in the spring, and I just think it's gorgeous, called Off the Map.
Joan Ackerman. Novelist?
Journalist.
Journalist.
And possibly a novelist also.
Yeah.
Just getting to know her. I mean, I stumbled across this play and I'm nuts about it.
I think she's written several books, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
They're all kind of, sort of, she got involved in sort of Gen X type era.
I don't know. That is a Diane Ackerman.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But anyway.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tell us can we go to the FIT Festival and see you perform? Give it a plug.
I actually directed this year's play,
Okay.
which is called Ariel Bright, which is a beautiful, funny, whimsical, mysterious, and odd little play that took place in a funeral home in Missouri in 1912. And it involves, two almost lovers and two caskets and one dead body. And it's a great show. I love it. And we only have one more performance, and it's next Saturday, August 2nd at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
Saturday at the
At
Bathhouse.
the Bathhouse. Ariel Bright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell everybody where the Bathhouse is, just for grins.
The Bathhouse is on the east shore of White Rock Lake. I think it's 521 Lawther Drive, but you can't get there if you turn on Lawther. It's very confusing. You have
Right.
to turn on Northcliffe off of Buckner,
Okay.
and it's right on the water's edge, and it's a fabulous venue. And it's a marvelous little black box theater, and actually a thrust theater. Yeah.
So next Saturday, 2 p.m.
Yeah. There's shows going on all week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But Ariel only has one more performance, and it's Saturday at 2.
That's good. Does everybody know where the Bathhouse is? Okay, good deal. All right, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.